comfort of your own home. Explore, survive, and win the annual Treasure Hunt Championship. In the Terminal, you can do anything and become anyone. However, an invasion by an unknown virus completely transformed the entire terminal. But we did not just sit back and wait. Now, the battle that belongs to us has begun.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Terminull Brigade. This is a closed beta game that I've been playing for a few days now. I've gotten to experience the three main characters, and I've got to do both maps. And I've done a few different difficulties. In this run, I'm doing a wealth-based run, where I do more damage based on the money I have. This is the first time I experimented with this particular setup for the character. And it worked really well in the beginning, and then it kind of fell at the end. So I think I need some work on it. So stick around to see how the final boss plays out with this build. I need a lot of help to get resuscitated by my allies. But the gist of the idea was every time I dash, I do this AoE explosion of money that hits everybody. So I just wanted to dash around the map, blow everything up, and work less about the aiming at individuals and just more at the dashing. So the game as a whole, I really enjoy it. It's a little bit repetitive at the moment, just because there's only the two maps and different difficulties at it. It follows the Hades style, or where you have different leader types that get your abilities, and then depending on which leaders you go, you choose which style of ability you want, from being a crit build or music based build or lightning build, so on and so forth. So this run I'm focusing on music and wealth. After each room you usually get an item shop and a perk upgrade. Here you can upgrade the level of each skill that you've already acquired, as opposed to acquiring a new one. You can find items on the ground, such as the whatchamacallit, the sword that I picked up. Alright, let's take a look at the first boss of the run and see what their boss mechanics are like. Alright, so this is Max. He typically sits in the middle for most of the fight, which meant I'm just dashing there trying to hit him with that wealth for the fight. He does leave the run every now and then, the room, and he will run around circles around the ring, dropping off the poison clouds. So, one of the things I don't like about this game, actually, is the health bars of the bosses. They have it set at like 70-some health bars, as opposed to just like one health bar. I'm not a big fan of that style of having the boss. I would rather just see a singular health bar And if you want to do phases, maybe break that into 3 chunks for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And these gray and green nodes on the ground, these are modules. These are used outside the game to enhance each of your character's abilities, from weapon damage, skill damage, and lets you focus on a build that you like for that character. For this run, I was going for the Lucky Cat set. So despite the fact it's going to cost me almost all my gold, I decided to pick up both of those. You can see the different qualities from gray to blue to purple for epic. I've heard complaints about the color of this game just doesn't pop. Nothing really feels too exciting when you see a legendary or something like that. The colors just feel a little bland. I kind of agree with it. There's nothing that really separates the better quality other than, oh, it's just a bigger number. And it's not as exciting when you see a purple versus a legendary or a common. I did like the atmosphere of the levels. Like, this one does very much feel very Mad Max-ish in style. That, you know, we're on this train, it's moving. But I think they could have done so much more with it. Especially when you take a look at this next boss that we're about to get into. And I'll show you that. Alright, so here we are for the next boss. So this definitely has a Mad Max vibe to it, and I love it. But, oops. The main mechanics are just dodging side to side while shooting his arms and cranes. This fight's a little hard, trying to be a dash build. But I feel like they could have done so much more with the environment. Whether it's 2 trains that you're jumping back and forth between, or even like if you actually jumped onto the boss himself and you had to go over there to fight him, rather than just sitting on this platform going back and forth, side to side, dodging the stuff on the ground. I think, like, here, he's now injured, right? What if we had to jump on his back when he's injured, and then go over and attack something over there, and then come back when he starts to revive himself like he is? Like, I feel like that kind of mechanic where you're more involved would have been a lot more entertaining and fun to try out. That's just an example of, like, the feedback I'm giving on, it's a little bland just going back and forth and dodging the red circles on the ground. I think they could be so much more with it being a 3D environment and what you could do overall.
I'll cut you down for jury. I don't even need to lift a
So,
finger
we're back at the next boss here. And again, we're looking at
someone like you
a giant room where we just run around, shoot the boss. Dodge his red stuff on the ground. with just a big giant health bar that you got to burn through. Shooting missiles. Oh, we run around. Burn his health bar. Got lucky there. I was about to go down. Alright, let's take a look at the final boss, and then I'll get into a little bit of the shop and the post-game stuff, and we'll go from there. Alright, so this is where my build kind of started really slacking. Accidentally opened up my menu. So like I have to dash and be semi-close to the boss in order to trigger the hit. But I kept accidentally dashing into the boss. And then he's just going to swing around at one point and basically just knock me out. Yeah, he just turned and tapped me out. This fight is definitely not friendly on trying to revive your allies. As you'll see here, when she goes in for the revive, gonna get knocked out herself. Eventually our other ally realizes, oh, I have a bot that I can send over and just revive him. And I don't have to stand still to do it.
I haven't put on my game face yet. Hey, gotta reload.
This is phase 2 where he comes out in a smaller car. Again, I'm loving the Mad Max vibes. And the bosses seem interesting and unique. I just think we could do more with it than big painful explosions. But let's sit back and watch the rest of the fight, and then I will take you to the shop and the skins that they have after the run's over.
Don't worry, folks. Aurora is here. Hey, gotta reload.
Alright, so here we are at the main menu. So here you have your character profile. It shows you your playtime, your total runs, your number of clearances, your highest difficulty, and your total damage dealt. Here you can see each run individually, how far you cleared, was it a perfect clear, the skills you picked up along the way. Here you earn different achievements, from collecting skins to friending people on the game. It's a good way to earn the microtransaction currency needed for buying skins. Whether it'll be the same levels as we get into the full release, we don't know. Here you got your character select screen. You can choose between the locked characters. As you'll see here in the 7-day login, you can claim modules that are the legendary modules. Those will be helpful. You can claim your unlocked characters and even more modules. And we'll go over those in a little bit. So I haven't unlocked the final character. It says pending check-in. Here's another kind of like achievement policy based on different quests that you do. Another way to earn modules and skin currency. They have a redemption code that they're running in Discord. Be sure to check that out. Alright, so in my mailbox here, I have the final skin for whatever reasons, just for being a participant. And some respawn coins. Alright, so Hinix is dual wield pistols.
Sweet little teddy bear, 2 feet high. Pew pew, bad guy, say goodbye.
Gloria is a robot turret character. Max kind of feels a little bit like Psycho. Colonel's kind of your basic running gun. Blade is, well, obviously Blade in melee. And then Aurora, who you saw me play, she deals with beams, pulses, and other support abilities. Here in the module system, you'll see that each character has a different layout. And you kind of got to play Tetris with which modules you want to use. So for example, let's say I'm looking for weapon damage, weapon crit versus skill damage or skill crit. And then you'll notice all these have similar perks. From the gaming perk, wealth, energy, fortune, security, music, desire, and thunder. So if I was going to do a lightning build, I'd put up thunder, which will give me a chain lightning ability and some other nice different ones. Then from there I'll want to go, say, into weapons. So I'll find modules that have the weapon damage, weapon crit, rate of fire. And then as you see, you just gotta play Tetris. It can only be equipped to one of your characters. I don't see the point of this. I really wish, like, if you had it, you can just assign it. And then if it's locked in a character currently, it can't be dismantled. So that way you don't accidentally destroy something you have equipped on a character. But as you see, like, I can't fit that one anywhere, so I have to move this over. Tetris that in there. And then you can only have 9 of each color. So you can have a legendary and a smaller one. As you'll see, that one doesn't really fit anywhere. But what I can do now is I can move this up there. And that'll let me fit that in there. But now I won't have any spots for 3s or 1 spot for a 2. So maybe instead of going with that and this one, I'm going to also try to add in my purple legendary. Then I can move that one over there. I want that weapon damage, weapon crit, so I'll throw this up there. And then that leaves me 3 spots for a 2, a 2, and a 1. So I'll go all the way back to the bottom. I could have rotated this legendary yellow, and I could have fit a 3 in there, which probably would have been a better solution. But you get the gist of it, and you can see the overall stats you're getting based on the module on the left there. Now each module has a level assigned to it that you can upgrade. So let's go take a look at that. Alright, you'll see that each one, depending on its rarity and level, has a cost to upgrade it. So it's 240, and I only have 140. So what I'll need to do is dismantle these lower tier ones. So we'll say that one. We'll do a couple of these blues that I don't need. Alright, it'll give me 130. Oh. Alright, so we'll dismantle those. Now I can go back in here. Find the one I want to upgrade. You'll see that the level 2 one here is more 288 to upgrade. So it's more expensive as it goes up. But the level 0, 1 to level 1 is only 240. Now that only upgrades like the shield and weapon attack power. It does not upgrade the secondary stats that are on it or the perk stats. And that's the gist of modules. Alright, next let's take a look at talents. So as you do runs, you will earn what is called code, and you can use those to level up your talents. They get more expensive further down the tree you get. I decided to try to go heavily into the wealth build talent, so I can buy more perks, items when I'm not running the wealth arbiter, or I get more benefit from the wealth arbiter because of it. However, I could have gone from the arbiter ruler to the energy expansion. I could have gone down a weapon tree or a skill tree. Like you'll notice this is weapon crit, weapon rate of fire. So if I had gone down that tree, I could have focused there. Eventually, I'm assuming you'll be able to unlock everything. This one's the skill tree, so it increases your ultimate recharge, it increases your primary skill, increases skill damage. At the bottom there, you'll see the total amount of code used to upgrade will give you different perks. And that doesn't matter where you spend the code, just that you spent the total amount. Alright, here we kind of have a little bit of lore unlocks. You can find these in the game. They're just sitting around. You pick them up, you get a little reward for doing so. Alright, here's the main store. I'm assuming they're going to add a microtransaction currency. It looks like this might be a free-to-play game in the end. You can unlock different skins for your characters. Your weapons get different skins as well. They have different packages from low tier packages, which I think is nice for those that aren't big spenders. That you can still unlock something unique, to the more expensive, you know, higher tier skins. I'm not a big fan of packages being 3 skins for the same character. I'd like to see like a high level skin for each. Alright, here we have the module shop where you can buy random legendary modules. You can earn these tokens from doing high ranked runs, either in the wastelands or in the city. And that about covers Terminull Brigade. If this is something you're interested in, be sure to wishlist it on Steam. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I haven't had as much time to play it as I'd like, as I'm currently redoing a lot of my setup as I wait for my new rig to come in. And I will be doing some more videos in the future on some roguelikes, so be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to check those out. And until then, I'll see you next time. Later.